Please do shout if anything freezes up. Sometimes things freeze up or don't work properly. Just instead of writing to chat, if you could shout out to me, that would be great. Thank you. Thank you for coming. It's great to see you. I know how busy all you are, and I really appreciate making time for this. Shall we start? Let's start. Designing wonderful learning experiences for our students. Welcome everyone. Great to see you all. Good afternoon. This is my welcome cartoon for you, and great to be here with you this afternoon. We know that we need positive change. Our educational systems are bureaucratic. They change slowly, painfully. Textbooks are getting obsolete because the world is changing so fast, and we are still operating in an industrial paradigm, including mass production, one size fits all, memorizing, exams, spoon feeding. And there isn't much to offer for a curious entrepreneurial mind or someone who yearns for something different. Yet the future rewards people for their imagination and creativity and entrepreneurship and assets and compounding. We don't teach much about money, financial literacy, personal finance, blockchain, compounding, things like the new world order. And career landscapes are changing fast. Gig economy is growing fast. Freelancers will soon be half of the workplace, and they will exceed half. We are going through an entrepreneurial revolution. Everybody can start their own company. You just need a laptop, cell phone, and internet. Software has eaten the world. Everybody now is in technology. Every career is transformed by technology. Young people nowadays have half a dozen careers. They are YouTubers, content creators, employees, writers, podcasters, entrepreneurs at the same time. And we live in an accelerated tectonic change, which means specialist perspectives are not enough, and we need to act like Renaissance people. And the paradigm shift rate is doubling every 10 years, and it'll double up every 10 years, which means huge changes ahead of us. So we know that we need to change soon. The AI revolution is here. Our students will be working with machines, algorithms, and robots in their careers. Climate change is threatening everything as we know it, and business is the one area that can make radical fast change. And as machines soon become employable, we need to prioritize skills that make us human, such as creativity, innovation, emotional intelligence, entrepreneurship, storytelling, asset creation. And in our current, and unfortunately in our curriculum, we don't have enough space for these. So in our current system, students are not allowed to be wrong. They are afraid to try out new things, stand up on their feet. Yet we want to enable our students to make a lot of experiments and make a lot of mistakes and failures so that they can grow. Tectonic change, as I said, Google introduced a program. You pay $49 each month and attend Google's courses, and this will replace college degrees, they say. You don't need college degree anymore. If you attend these courses for 6 months, we will accept it as equivalent to college degree. And there are many changes like this happening around. A robot wrote this entire article. This was on Guardian. Are you scared yet, human? So robots, algorithms, they are coming. And this article that I have written, it was read by 20,000 people. Because I was curious about this, I wrote an article on this on Medium. We are living a decade of events in a year. 2020 was like 5 years packed into one. Historic pandemic, wildfires, elections, stock market highs, technological breakthroughs. And during the pandemic, I went through a midlife crisis. I became aware of my mortality. Am I living the best life that I can live? Am I actualizing my potential? And I realized I have years of bitterness, missed opportunities, and a lack of joy, curiosity, adventure. I lost it somehow in my academic life, and I felt stuck. And I felt that I'm repeating myself in my classes. I'm bored of my own voice. What if I had multiple lives that are more colorful, adventurous, entrepreneurial? So I wrote this article during the pandemic, how I tried to reinvent myself in 1 year. I told myself I should focus on things that I can control, like my positive attitude, thinking, acting like an entrepreneur, doing fun things, trying to get more enjoyment out of my life. So the question I asked myself was, how can you design pockets of joy, innovation, creativity, curiosity, adventures, and hobbies, all these things that will make me more productive, more curious, more entrepreneurial? And I'm posing the same question to you. How can you do this in your own lives, in your own careers, even if you are like very busy? Uh, because I think we need more joy, more curiosity, more adventure, and exciting things in our lives. So I realized I don't want to fit in the academic box anymore. I don't want to be only driven by academic goals. I want to embarrass myself, fail a lot of times, stop taking myself too seriously. Yet I want to be a good role model. I want to establish my asset creation games for the next 10 years. So I transform my classes, try to make them more engaging. I started writing on Medium. As of today, I think I have 430 pieces right now. And I became a YouTuber, created more than 500 YouTube videos in the last 2 years. And I became a TikToker, created 80 TikToks, and I started writing new ebooks. So if I die soon, at least I will be content with what I leave behind. That's my philosophy. So you are under no obligation to remain the same person you were a year ago, a month ago, even a day ago. You are here to create yourself continuously and every day. So that's what I'm trying to do. I need to complete at least 10,000 experiments in 10 years to create my own renaissance. And I'm in conversation with my future self who lives in 2032. And I want to start right now, start small. And I want to be extremely curious, learn beyond borders. And I want to scare myself every day, follow my excitements, and act as an agent of positive change. So I wrote an article on this, we need to conduct 10,000 experiments in 10 years. And I transform my lectures. I follow a truth-dare structure. Truth are the puzzles. Instead of presenting knowledge, I turn it into a series of puzzles. I use about 25 puzzles in 2 hours. Each takes 1 minute. And I give a big dark chocolate for the student who guesses it first. So this helps me to stop force feeding large spoons of knowledge. Instead, I try to attract to the brains of our students and like keep things fresh and exciting and surprising for them and for myself. And in their part, I give them challenges. They can do these individual challenges or team-based challenges, short exercises, doodling, sketching, creative exercises, imagination experiments, reflective, creative writing, that sort of stuff. So today I'll be talking about wearing 4 hats, the artist hat, the entrepreneur hat, content creator hat, and futurist hat. I want you to look at this for the next 20 seconds and see if you are using these hats in your current life. Which one is your strongest hat and which one is lacking? Maybe you need to invest more in this one. Like, make yourself some notes, please, as you go over. So from now on, I want you to take off your academic hats. Why? Because I don't want you to use your defenses or critical thinking. I want you to put yourself in the shoes of learners, positive learners. Imagine yourself as students and put yourself in the shoes of learners and try to enjoy the journey and apply these exercises yourself and see if they click with you. Okay. So please take off your academic hats during the duration of this. Let's start with the artist hat. If you know this, please shout. Last year, there has been a revolution in digital art and NFTs, non-fungible tokens, whose non-fungible token was sold for $69 million. This was just last year, at this time of last year. People was the answer. So record, I think you remember this now. Yeah, at Christie's, it fetches $69 million. But let's look at the story of how he created this. He promised himself to create a digital image every day. He created art every day, and he did this for more than 13 years. He created an image starting 2007 and until 2021. He never broke the chain. He created an image every day. So he created 5,000 images over 5,000 days. And then he combined all of them into one file. And he called it Every Days, the first 5,000 days. And this digital collage was the one that was sold as an NFT at Christie's. And this literally changed history. This made history because it was sold for $69 million. The name of the artist is Mike Winkelmann. And this, you can see the artwork here. Have a look. He combined, like, what a marvelous artwork. He created like 5,000 of these and then combined them into a digital whole. And that is the token, non-fungible token that has been sold. So this shows us, I think it's a metaphor, thinking, acting like an artist, but also establishing your own game, establishing your own metaphor, your own journey, creative journey. So I believe creativity is no longer a luxury, it's a critical survival skill to solve problems ahead of us. This is the philosophy of my module. I want you to look at it and see if you neglect any of these in your life. I want you to choose 3 of them. Which ones do you need to focus on? Please choose 3 of them. Wrap it up, please. Okay, so I give students weekly challenges, creative experiments. This is one of them. Connecting dots, storytelling. Can you write a story using the following words? Pepper, fashion, journey, chaos, lawyer, bird, discuss, dancing. So combining these words, you'll create a story first. And then after you write your story, illustrate it, doodle it, sketch it, storyboard it. So this is a challenge for this week, let's say. Another week, this is another challenge. Your secret gift, your 8th day of the week. Imagine that you are given a secret day. Let's call it fun day, fun day. You have to do something unusual, remarkable on this day. How would you make this memorable, creative, full of adventure? Another challenge, go to the city of Norwich, walk around the city of Norwich, take your cell phone and pay attention to doors. This project is all about doors. Find at least 12 different doors, different styles, periods, colors, take their photos, give them a creative title, tag them, perhaps create an Instagram gallery of them, and learn new things about doors throughout the whole week. You know, approach doors from a multidisciplinary perspective. Let's say history and doors, philosophy and doors, architecture and doors, whatever. What have you realized about doors that you haven't realized before? Another challenge, imagine you are meeting yourself from a parallel universe. You come across yourself, you are shocked, you sit together in a cafe. First, you write about your life in this parallel universe, and then you imagine the conversation that you are having with yourself. Write that conversation. So this is just another one. Time travel. Imagine you are transported to the year 2030. How will the world look like? Write in detail. Guess, come up with some predictions. Organizations and work, your career and your life. Where do you live? How does your house look like? Your family, etc. And put all the details. You can also draw this if you want. Here is another. Imagine that you're writing 2 letters to yourself. The first letter, imagine that you're 80 years old. You're writing to your current self. And the second one, imagine that you're 8 years old, just 8 years old, a kid, and you are writing to your current self. So you write these 2 letters. They are, again, extremely creative exercises to open up your mind, to new possibilities. And the good thing is, like, each of these challenges take like 10 minutes or something. It doesn't take too long. Here's another. Go on these 6 adventures. I want you to create a story. One, in virtual reality, perhaps in the metaverse. You are part of a computer game, let's say. Second, you are going on outer space, perhaps to Mars or beyond the solar system. Third, you are part of a fantasy universe, let's say Harry Potter or Game of Thrones, and invent a character for yourself, incorporate yourself to this universe. Number 4, you go back to some period in world history, let's say ancient Egypt or Roman Empire. Number 5, you travel to the future, any location, any future period is fine. And the last one, you go to a different country culture and invent a story there. So this storytelling is, I think, very important, because if we look at highest franchises, media franchises of all the time, let's look at them. Pokemon, $92 billion. Star Wars, $65 billion. And Harry Potter, 30 billion. Marvel, 29 billion. And all these brands, they emerge from somebody's imagination. They are here because of creativity, because of human imagination. So we need to use much more of our imagination in the future, because our jobs are being taken by these algorithms, machines. So we need much more of imagination in the future, and our students will need it. So I give them exercises like this: world building, storytelling. Here is a sample exercise. Imagine that you are creating a town. You create a town and 10 main characters. Give a name to this fictional town. Where is this located? Draw a map. Think about this geography. Give a bit of history background, the economics of this town. Who are the most famous faces, colorful characters? Are there any power games, conflicts? What are the shared values? Are there any secrets, family secrets? Any past violence? Who wants revenge? Is there forbidden law? Are there some newcomers? And what happens next, etc. So here's another. This is more about science fiction. Imagine that the year is 2120. A starship is leaving the Earth. There are 12 crew members on it. Describe the starship. Why is this leaving the Earth? Where are they headed? What is their mission? What are the challenges? Who are the biggest enemies here? And how do they overcome them? How do our heroes act in the face of obstacles? And think of a satisfying finale. So I like exercises like this, and I want them to use Pixar's 22 rules of storytelling. These are like universal rules of storytelling, good storytelling. You need to have good characters, setting, plot, conflict, and a resolution, basically. So here's the next exercise. I want you to imagine about your Netflix show. In your notebook, please write down some notes. Imagine that Netflix hired you to create your own show. What would you like to create? Please think of a title. What kind of a show would it be? Would it be cooking, travel, lifestyle, fashion, food, drama, business, technology? science fiction. So please think of some possibilities and think of a title. What will be the title of your show? Okay, again, we can spend more time on these, but let's do this one. Imagine that your life story is being made into a movie by Hollywood. So I want you to think of the following. Write the title. What would be the title of this movie? Give it a title. Think about your success story, maybe 2 or 3 bullet points. Or maybe your impact, your legacy. Think about that. And try to capture it in a few words. Who would play you? Think of an actor, any gender, any age is fine, just for fun. Think of 3 skills that your cinema self has, but you don't have them yet. What are they? And lastly, think of 3 places you need to travel as your cinema self, but you haven't been to these places yet. Okay, so of course, students get more time to spend on these and then discuss them, etc. But using creativity, I think students can improve their employability as well. Look at this guy, Lucas. He's a marketing guy, and he says most resumes end up in trash. Mine will end up in your belly. So he landed about 10 interviews with these boxes of donuts. And look at this CV, video CV.
Hello, my name is Etienne, and I was born in France, in a city whose cathedrals copied my name. Also with a museum by Shigeru band. When I saw it, I thought, why don't I do the same? So I studied architecture, that's why I moved to Nancy. No, that's not a girl, that's the name of a city. I got my bachelor's degree, then I moved to Germany. In Leipzig, the new Berlin, where I mastered my physics. Monster in a pocket, now I'm on the market, rising like a rocket. Let's go win some contests. Ideas competition, living in the future. First prize, World Championship of Game for Architecture, public award, and a whole bunch of trophies that I cannot name off. This song would last a century. While learning the basics in various offices, I've explored several parallel careers, from making and mixing cheese in Switzerland to drawing for local TV in Belgium. Then I worked for Sana on the site of the Louvre, and now for 4 years I've been working in Luxembourg. But it's time to live. Denmark is on my list. I want to work for big. I know I've got the skills. My English is great. Mon français est formidable. Mein Deutsch ist super. Mit uns Ligue. I know AutoCAD, Rhinoceros, Grasshopper, and V-Ray. Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, and After Effects.
Another example, GQ magazine. He wanted to work in this magazine as an intern. What he did was he turned his CV into an actual magazine, 20 pages. It's a special issue about his CV, which worked well. He landed the job immediately. So I want you to look at this poster and identify at least one action that you can do differently. It all starts with small steps. What would you like to do differently? Maybe in your career, in your teaching, or in your own life. Identify one action point, please, and write it down. Okay, I believe there are 4 types of hobbies we need to have. The first one, hobbies for curiosity learning. The second one, hobbies for creativity to create assets through imagination. The third one, fitness, health, lifestyle. I don't have this, unfortunately. And the fourth one, hobbies that make you money, creating multiple income streams, side hustles. And you can read more, but I think these also increase our creativity. So the second hat, let's wear the hat of entrepreneur. Who is the inventor of Spanx? You can shout out if you like. She used 5,000 of her savings, and she became the youngest self-made billionaire, female billionaire, at the age of 41 in the US. So Sarah Blakely, I think you know her. And let's look at her trailer, masterclass trailer.
I'm gonna tell you something. Every person in their life has had $1 million idea. No doubt. No doubt. It's just, you're gonna take action. You definitely do not need to go to business school to become an entrepreneur. I started Spanx as a frustrated consumer. I had $5,000 set aside in savings. I simply wanted to be able to wear white pants to a party and have nothing show underneath it. The entire time, everyone told me no and said, this is not a great idea. But let me tell you one thing. That means you've come up with something brand new. Take it as a compliment. This masterclass is for anyone out there who's in search of an idea, has an idea and doesn't know what to do next, is wanting to start a business, or has already started a business. I guess in some way I'm saying, I think this class is for everybody. Before I started Spanx, I actually was selling fax machines door to door. I got kicked out of building after building, and one day I thought, I'm in the wrong movie. I called the producer, called the director. This is not my life. What happened? I can tell you the things that I focused on very early on. 3 things: make it, sell it, build awareness. People are looking for that. I want to be a $100 million company in the first year, and I'm going to raise as much money as I possibly can. And just check in with yourself on that and be willing to start small. Why are you doing this? What's the why? And who are you in the world? Share that part of the story. I mean, the more vulnerable you're willing to be, the deeper the connection will be with your consumers. I hope that you're tuning in and you're seeing me, and I become the example that you needed to say, check, yes, you can.
So masterclass is amazing. They have some amazing courses. 40% of the global workforce is ready to quit. This is called the Great Resignation. Everybody's talking about that, the Great Resignation. And I suspect many of them are establishing their own businesses. Entrepreneurial spirit is alive and kicking in the pandemic. Data shows this. And Generation Z are hustling for their post-COVID futures. Many of them are turning to freelancing and entrepreneurship and gig economy. It's also called YOLO economy. You live only once, so you need to take some risk and be involved in some adventures and do something non-traditional. Jump off of a cliff and build a plane on the way down. Entrepreneurship is, of course, all about execution. Even if you have a brilliant idea, it's $20 worth at most if you don't implement it. But if you implement it, then you create a lot of enormous value. It's all about implementation. I loved this. Just this week, I discovered this undercover billionaire, and I have shown this in my class as well. I want to show you a little segment.
For the first time in decades.
But it's an amazing program. I became hooked in this, binge watched all the episodes. But entrepreneurship is everywhere. Isla is on Twitter. He says, I'm just 19. I made over 5,000 this month selling just digital products. Or look at this 12-year-old. He sold NFT collection that made over $5 million in just 3 weeks. Or look at these 2 Irish brothers. They wrote 7 lines of code and turned this into a $36 billion empire, which has doubled actually right now. Stripe, these are Stripe founders. So we live in nonlinear times, yet none of these techniques are in our textbooks. That's the bad news. You know, these books, which are written by entrepreneurs themselves, are actually more insightful because they contain actual life stories of people who have done it. So my thesis is we can start micro entrepreneurship in our lives, just to improve our teaching. That's what I try to do. Like, I don't want to become an entrepreneur from scratch, no. But if I start an entrepreneurial journey, then I can tell about it in my classes and spice up my classes. So that's why, let's say, I created a book just this month, and we started selling on Gumroad. You can have a look and support us in our entrepreneurial journey. It's a very simple process to create your electronic digital books. It took us less than 1 hour to upload it on Gumroad. So it's pretty simple. But it's also, I want to showcase, that you can be an entrepreneur. The last two hats, I'll briefly go over them. Content creator. Look at these people. They are some of the world's richest people, but they all create rigorous content. Have a look at the list. They created hundreds of pieces of new innovative content, each of them. So we live in the age of content. Joe Rogan, he signed a deal, $100 million deal with Spotify. How? Because he created more than 4,000 podcast episodes. So volume is hugely important. Ronaldo makes more from his Instagram than soccer. So the times that we live in are really different and non-linear, and social media is very important. Which one is the most addictive social media? Of course, it's TikTok. It's changing the world. Wall Street Journal asks, why have they been able to work so fast? The algorithm, how does it work so well? And to understand it, I went to TikTok and did some TikToks myself, just for fun, okay? But TikTok is changing professions everywhere in the world. It's a huge seismic change. Look at an ice cream vendor in Turkey. He has 20 million subscribers worldwide, and they are dancing all day. They have parties all day. All professions are changing. It's all about fun, capturing attention. Look at Charli D'Amelio, her career. She makes $50,000 from a 50-second TikTok video. And these are the new millionaires of these new ecosystems: YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, millionaires. They create content houses, which is a huge trend around the world. They come together to make TikTok videos, and these are content houses. They are everywhere. There are many houses, even in Turkey and in the UK as well. It's a big trend. So he was a lawyer. He stayed up late between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. every night, wrote these mystery novels, 4 hours every night. Using this method, he wrote more than 40 books. Who is he? David Baldacci. So I won't show you the video, but you can watch it. But the lesson is this: I encourage my students to treat this year as the year of asset creation. Give them asset creation goals. You can either do an artistic project, creative project, Kickstarter type of project, or you can establish your own company, one-person company. But create your own assets that you want to create for your future. Don't think like a student. Do this for yourself, for your own future, and do something exciting and fresh. So my promise to them is I will be also creating alongside you. I promise you I will also work on my second book, digital ebook. And I will be also writing a new Medium article, maybe every 2-3 days. And I will be accountable to you. You will be accountable to me. We will be accountable to each other. So draw the art you want to see. Start the business you want to buy from. Play the music you want to hear. Write the book you want to read. Build the product you want to use. In the same philosophy, create the module that you want to get yourself. You want to learn yourself. And that's what I try to do. I try to create a module that I want to learn about. It's like a hero's journey. You need to create your own assets and go on your own adventures, which is the story in every book in the world. And there are all these digital publishing platforms, and you can make millions using these platforms in the new economy. So you just need to choose your platform, start small, improve yourself, innovate, focus on quality, and then monetize this for the long term. Here's an example. Students ask me, like, we don't feel like doing anything. How do you do these things? So I wrote an article, how to be absolutely unstoppable when you do not feel like doing anything. And this is the article. You can see, I published it last month. It has made $55 as of today. So it acts as an asset itself. Like when you create these articles, they start acting as assets. So I'll finish with the futurist hat. We are preparing our students for jobs that don't exist yet. There's so much to learn about the future, and artificial intelligence is coming. I recommend you watch AlphaGo for this to understand better.
Go is the world's oldest continuously played board game. It is one of the simplest and also most abstract.
Beating a professional player at Go is a long-standing challenge of artificial intelligence.
Everything we've ever tried in AI just falls over when you try the game of Go.
The number of possible configurations of the board is more than the number of atoms in the universe.
AlphaGo found a way to learn how to play Go.
So far, AlphaGo has beaten every challenge we've given it, but we won't know its true strength until we play somebody who is at the top of the world, like Lee Sedol.
A match like no other is about to get underway in South Korea.
They said all is to Go what Roger Federer is to tennis.
Just the very thought of a machine playing a human is inherently intriguing.
The place is a madhouse.
Welcome to the DeepMind Challenge.
The whole world
is there, in fact, a weakness?
The game kind of turned on its axis.
Oh, look at his face.
That is not a confident face.
It's developing into a very, very dangerous fight.
Ooh, hold the phone. Lee has left the room.
In the end, it is about pride.
I think there's something went wrong.
Yeah, it's made a mistake.
He's got to pronounce a miracle.
These ideas that are driving AlphaGo are going to drive our future.
This is it, folks.
Unfortunately, these technologies are very freaky. They are coming, they are uncanny, and we have two options. I'm very fearful. Yes, I'm freaking out. But at the same time, I think we need some hope, bewilderment, and curiosity. If we are more curious and have some emotional stamina, cognitive flexibility, we can thrive in this age of machines and algorithms. So the rest of the slides are about technology dominating our lives. So I'll just skip these, I guess. All these new companies that are existing, they all emerged recently. They didn't exist before. So Zoom surpassing all airlines, Airbnb surpassing all hotel chains, Tesla surpassing all the other automotive companies. And time to reach 1 trillion is getting lower and lower. Disruption is getting higher and higher. And Elon Musk has disrupted 8 different sectors, industries. And these technologies are shaping our future. We need to understand them better, yet like we don't have time even to explore what is going on. So he loves playing games and he makes $500,000 each month. He was on Time cover. He is Ninja. And this is like, if we want to understand the future, this is from Philippines. Rice workers are playing these computer games and they make $2,000 each month from these computer games using blockchain. So, like technology is very important for young people and for the future. And I guess I'm just saying we need to be more curious and explore more about what the future might hold us, but also be more courageous. Establish our own asset creation games and act as a role model, create our own manifestos. And maybe the last point that I will make visualize where you want to be in 10 years. Let's say I will do this and this and this and this. I will create this many assets, and I will make this much amount of money, etc. And then sign it and keep a journal and create every day to follow your dreams. But it's all about, I think, creating more joy in our lives. I have more slides, resources on these, but maybe like we need to create our own laws as well. These are my new laws that I try to follow. And yeah, this is the end of it. Let me finish. Sorry, I have taken too much time, everyone. I'll just stop here. Let's finish the recording.